This podcast contains explicit content.
Hardly Focused
Presents
big, beautiful butt cheeks.
The balance beam.
You are listening to the Acc and Jack Show.
The Acc and Jack Show.
The Acc and Jack Show.
Hello, we are the Acc and Jack Show, presented by Hardly Focused with Chris Aguiardi and Jack Gill.
Hello.
You can find us at accandjack.com. That is accandjack.com. We are part of the Hardly Focused podcast feed. You can find us on your favorite podcast app. Just search for Hardly Focused, and you can also watch us on the Hardly Focused channel on YouTube at hardlyfocused.com/YouTube. Whew, that was a lot to say.
You were practicing that in the mirror earlier, weren't you?
In the shower, actually. You ever just have arguments with yourself in the shower?
Oh, constantly.
Yep.
They get violent. They come to blows frequently.
That is the story of my life. Acc, how are you now?
Good, and you?
Not so bad. I want to talk to you about vaccines. Not the band. There's a band called the Vaccines, and they're very good, but the actual thing that might actually, potentially, possibly, maybe save the world. But before we do that, I actually want to talk about something you showed to me. So if I may throw it to you, what is this about bamboo-laced China ballots?
So, yeah, it's easy to forget if you're like a normal person who's moved on with their life, but there's still like a massive attempt to overturn the November 2020 election in the Trumposphere. And apparently the latest fever dream cooked up by these people is that like 40,000 ballots in Arizona were mailed, like smuggled illegally into the country from China. And because these people are insanely racist, the idea that China might just use wood pulp ballots like any other industrialized 21st century country has not occurred to them. So clearly, if there are ballots coming in from China, they must be made out of bamboo.
Papyrus or nothing.
So... like if they find eucalyptus, are they going to think the Australians are behind this? Like
Can you imagine if they just shift their tone entirely?
It's like layers upon layers of insane conspiracy theories and racism.
And much like Trump was for pretty much up until the end of his presidency, when he would still go on about how he won the election and how Hillary Clinton was a crook and this, that, and the other thing. Pretty much up until 2023, right? Or 2024? When do we vote next? Is it 2023 or 2024?
We'll be voting in late 23 for the 24 election.
Right.
No. I'm sorry, late 24, and then they'd be inaugurated in early 25.
Okay, good. It wasn't just me that was completely forgetting what year it was and how the concept
I blame the pandemic for this. I can't remember what season it is. Like, I'll suddenly be like, is it September? No, it's May.
Well, you've been pretty open about this, Acc. You haven't left your apartment since March of 2020.
Yep.
So
very few times, yeah.
Yeah, like I was actually outside today. It was a beautiful day. It's finally officially spring. If every day could be like this, that would be just glorious. But yeah, the concept of fours is completely lost on me. 4, 8, 12, and then I just stop and just go blank. Anyway, right up until the time we have to vote again, be it for Biden or someone else, people are still going to be trying to get Trump back in office and trying to overthrow the results of the 2020 election.
Yeah, and that's kind of the big question right now, right? Like who's going to be the Republican nominee for 2024? Is it going to be Trump? Is it going to be Don Jr.? Is it going to be a Trump, Trump-esque character? Or are they going to pretend the whole thing never happened and, nominate whatever the exact opposite of Trump is that they can find? But I'm horrified, but deeply curious to see what's going to happen.
I'm just horrified. It's not even just curiosity. It's just pure fear. Yeah. So I picked this one from Slate.com because a bunch of publications were having a field day with this one, but from Slate.com. On Wednesday, a member of the Arizona election audit team that has been heavily touted by former President Donald Trump. I say ex-President Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
Like a former lover. You don't call it like your former girlfriend. You say your ex-girlfriend, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Something, ex-President Donald Trump revealed that its examination of the 2020 vote in Maricopa County will include a forensic, quote-unquote, analysis of ballots to determine if the paper is made of bamboo in order to determine whether or not China delivered tens of thousands of fraudulent ballots to tip the state to Joe Biden. Wow. Was it Arizona that, like, Fox News called really early and that just threw everybody into a tizzy?
I believe it was. Yeah. Again, it's a little hard to remember because that whole week is just kind of a blur. But it was either Arizona or Nevada, somewhere in that corner of the country.
Yeah.
Fox News called for Biden way earlier than anyone else.
Well, it's McCain's home state too, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those states like Virginia or Georgia that's been trending very heavily blue in the past 5 or 10 years. I mean, it's now got 2, I believe, Democratic senators, Mark Kelly and that one everyone hates now.
Yeah, well, Mark Kelly, the astronaut, right?
Mark Kelly, the astronaut, and then I forget her name. There's a woman she's very weird. She dresses like a manic pixie dream girl, but she's like one of the most conservative Democrats. So I'm drawing a blank on her name.
Is it the one we were just talking about, the astronaut? Is he the one that's married to the lady that got shot and survived?
Yes, he's married to Gabby Giffords.
Okay. There's a
who
video.
herself used to be a senator.
Right. There's a video that I just love. It's of her service dog. And man, I kind of wish I had some sort of crippling disability that garnered me a very loyal and intelligent service dog, because that dog could do trigonometry for you. Boy, was that dog just smart. Anyway, some audio. I was scouring this article. I saw some bizarre ass quote about the bamboo, and I wish I highlighted it. I can't find it. So anyway, here's the audio of what the hell's this guy's name? Some dude.
Some fucking guy.
John Brakey, that's his name. Here we go. On Wednesday, audit liaison John Brakey told a reporter from the local CBS affiliate in Phoenix that the audit team was checking to see if 40,000 Biden ballots were smuggled into Arizona from Asia by checking the paper's fiber to detect bamboo. So here is Brakey speaking to the news. Here we go.
The other day at the press conference, you were talking about bamboo. What was that about?
Well, is that there's accusations that 40,000 ballots were flown in.
To Arizona?
Into Arizona, and it was stuffed into the box, okay? And it came from the southeast part of the world, Asia, okay? And what they're doing is to find out if there's bamboo in the paper. That camera right there, that they take a picture of the ballot, they can really look at depth and find out, is it a hand-marked paper ballot? Because it's a 5K camera. You can see the folds in the ballot, because 92% of all the ballots here should have been folded because they came in through an envelope. Okay, and so they're doing all sorts of testing to prove if it was or wasn't, and that's very important, because the only way you can persuade people on changing is having facts, and we're on a mission for facts. And I'm Audit Elections USA, and what we do is not about the right or left. Audit is an acronym. It stands for Americans United for Democracy, Integrity, and Transparency in Elections. We've been around 17 years. We work all over the country for the last 5 years. I'm in litigation in Florida. I've sued in Alabama. I negotiated in Virginia. I sued in Ohio, and I've been in 18 states, just working elections. And I all started because of the Bernie Sanders election in 2016 with Hillary Clinton. I'm the guy who sued the whole state.
I didn't think it was possible to hear a tinfoil hat.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just funny because they're crippling their own conspiracy theory by making it about the bamboo. China can use paper. They have access to wood pulp. They can make regular paper ballots. Like, you can. It's just so wild to me that they're going to be like, well, no bamboo. Guess China couldn't be involved here. And it's like, well, yes, China wasn't involved. It's an insane conspiracy theory, but your reason for talking yourself out of that is also dumb.
I have some more audio of John Brakey here speaking more about the China ballots. Here we go. I'm sorry, that was from the retarded animal babies.
Whoops.
Hello, son.
Here it is for real. More of John Brakey.
So what does the bamboo, why do you check for
Because they
bamboo?
use bamboo in their paper processing.
Who's they?
They?
People in Southeast Asia.
So that you feel like
That's what they say.
40,000 ballots have been...
Yeah, I don't believe any of that.
Okay.
I'm just saying that is part of the mystery that we want to ungaslight people about, and this is a way to do
This is
it.
part of what you're looking at.
I'm not. They are.
Wow.
I'm here as an observer and a professional in elections for the last 17 years.
They.
Yep.
What a crock.
I know.
Yeah, wow. Well, good luck to them. Time and money
wish
well
them
spent.
The best of luck.
Yeah. As long as
Have fun.
As long as they're not siphoning the funds of taxpayers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they probably are, knowing our luck.
Well, it is funny. I guess the Trump campaign is still taking donations
For
for
what?
the election. It's like if you were on Trump's mailing list, you would still to this day be getting, we need donations. We need your help to fight Joe Biden's crooked election stealing attempt. And so I assume there are probably tens of millions of people who can't afford to be doing this, sending their money to billionaire Donald Trump so that he can engage in vanity projects like this.
I mean, donate money. Yeah, because the man's bankrupt and he no longer has an income.
Yeah.
I actually, so I have audio. So you're talking about these solicitations for whatever campaign Trump is running at this point. But financial donations, audio of Trump actually soliciting for money. Here we go.
You can do it. You'll be great. My mom has a speech.
Thank you all for coming to our beef and beer and Jesus. As you know, I'm as sick as a three-legged dog on the streets of India. Any minute, my lungs are going to sizzle, pop, and disintegrate into a liquid lung and organ gumbo soup.
That was my line. Nice.
Charlie, I can't do
Just
this.
get to the money part, all right? Just get the money part done.
Give me money. Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
That was Charlie's line. Yeah.
Yeah, Trump wishes he had the charisma of Charlie Kelly.
God, Trump wishes he was that coherent. Yeah. Well, anyway, good luck to Trump with his latest attempts at trying to overthrow Joe Biden and yet again win the election. I mean, how many times can you lose an election?
He's finding a new way every week. I did see a couple of jokes like that, like in the first couple of weeks, because he kept arguing for recertifications. It's like Donald Trump has now lost the same election more than any politician in American history.
Normally, like you'll lose it. You might like try to fight it once, like ask for a single instance of a recount, and then you concede.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're done. Not him. We're just going to keep going and going and going until literally someone drops dead.
Yep. Hopefully him.
When I said earlier I was scouring that article for the bizarre quote, it was actually in that audio, the thing about like investigating the folds of the paper.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, so on to further conspiracies. The vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
The Vacciardi scene. Have you gotten yours yet, Acc?
I got shot number 1. Was Pfizer, and I've got about a week and a half to go. Actually, exactly 1 week from today is my second shot.
Nice. Cool. Out of curiosity, where'd you get that one done?
At a temple, because I go to a Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital as my medical provider.
Oh, okay.
So it was a Beth Israel Deaconess temple that they had turned into a vaccination site.
Okay. You're the I guess you're the odd duckling, or however you want to phrase it. Everyone I've talked to has either gone to the mass vax site at the Natick Mall, which is where I've been, or Gillette Stadium. You might be the only person I know that's actually gotten Pfizer, too. Everyone I know has gotten Moderna, including me.
Huh. Yeah, so I originally signed up through the state, which would have been one of those mass sites, probably the Heinz Convention Center one. Mm-hmm. But then I've still, like, every week I get an email from them saying, you're still on our waiting list. Don't worry. We'll let you know when it's your time to get a vaccine. And then meanwhile, my primary care physician was just like, oh, yeah, you want to make an appointment now? We can just take you whenever.
Oh, wow.
So I haven't bothered to tell the state yet that I don't need their vaccine anymore. But
well, we're doing walk-ins now. We're doing Christopher Walkins now. This is great. This is actually, had I not done the same thing and signed up and pre-registered and was waiting for my turn there, the alternative was just wait until they become available, where I could just waltz into a CVS or a Walgreens and get it. And today I could have actually gone in to get my second one if I wanted. I could have just waltzed in, because I'm at that point now where I'm getting my second one this Sunday. Like I'm scheduled to do that, but I think at this juncture I can get the second one whenever. So I could have just waltzed right in to CVS and just had it done. But I'm happy that we are at that point now. I'm happy that the mass vax sites are starting to wind down. The one that I'm going to will be closed by the end of June. That's great.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. We're getting,
this is going ridiculously fast.
Yeah. And this is truly a smoke 'em if you got 'em situation, because I genuinely feel a little bit guilty because of the people of India, the people in the Middle East, the people in these third world countries that can't get their vaccine, or they're experiencing these surges in COVID cases. India's just getting boned in every orifice right now, up, down, left, right, everywhere. They are just getting screwed. And I work with, like, my actual, real life big boy paying job involves working with a very large group based out of Bangalore. And I really do feel for them.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw, I just saw this like an hour or two ago, but the United States did announce that we're willing to join in on the waiving of the patents of the vaccines, which would make it much easier for India and other countries that are struggling to get their hands on them.
Well, my understanding, and that's really great news, by the way. My understanding is that we've offered India any surplus that we have, and their government has said, no, thank you. I don't get it. I mean, I might be wrong on that one. I feel like I've read that hands helping hands have been extended and they've been slapped aside.
Right.
I don't know if it's something out of like pride or what, but
well, I mean, it also comes down to leadership, right? If Trump had won a second term and Angela Merkel of Germany tried to say, hey, United States, do you want some vaccines? You think Trump would accept?
No, God, no.
No, absolutely not. So
he would do exactly what the guy in Brazil is doing.
Yeah.
Holding it back and just watching the world burn.
Yeah. So like, it shouldn't be political, an issue of health, of, hey, there's a disease, take this thing we made that won't make you diseased anymore, should be a straightforward apolitical endeavor. But the world over, it's been turned into a massively political thing.
Right. Boston.com had a really good article. Dr. Abrar Karan sounds alarm over U.S. attention shifting from India's deadly surge to vaccinating teens. Again, this is a smoke 'em if you got him situation. Like, yeah, I feel guilty that places like India are struggling right now, but at the same time, like, that's not going to stop me from going and getting my shot. Like,
of course.
I was told your shot's available. Well, I'm going to fucking take it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you there. I don't think we should, refuse to take it out of solidarity or some kind of misguided thing like that. It's a net positive the more people who take it globally, for everyone. So,
yep. It being like I keep using the term, but smoke them if you got them. It's now we're focusing on 12 to 15-year-olds getting vaccinated. I say set a precedent. Ensure you can do it. Make sure you have a superpower like ours. And this sounds like, I don't know if this is like exceptionalist or national, whatever you want to call it, but get a superpower like ours taken care of so other people can then take note, take a page from us and follow suit.
I mean, I think that's perfectly reasonable. I mean, when you think about it, right, a vaccine is really cool. Like, it's just one of those, it's weird to me that people are so against it. Like, I just find science so neat. Like, we were born human beings who couldn't deal with this virus. And then some guy made something, and then we jab it into our fucking arms and we mutate into human beings on another evolutionary level capable of dealing with this disease.
Yeah.
Like, it's just deeply fucking neat, no matter how you look at it. And I think that there's something so American about, like, oh, you think we're too weak to be able to handle this virus? Fuck you, virus. Fuck you, God. We're gonna ascend to the next level of health and triumph over it.
Yeah.
That's just the coolest thing. And yet there's like tens of thousands of people who are refusing to participate. It's just so weird to me.
And this is going to lead into my next point here, but I need to stop following news pages on Facebook, on social media, because whenever an article gets posted about progress we're making with the vaccines or how a university is requiring people to be vaccinated before they can attend classes, which for as long as I can remember in my 31 years on this earth, vaccines were required to attend school. If you were not vaccinated, you could not attend public school or even private school for that matter.
I got pumped full of goo every year from like age 1 to 18.
Yeah.
I had a pediatrician. My mom or dad would take me there. They would sit me on a table. They would hook me up to their fucking machines, and they would just pump goo into my veins. And I turned out fucking great. So
yeah,
shut the hell up.
Yeah, you don't have polio. You didn't get smallpox.
Yeah. If I have autism, I had it before that. So.
We were born with it, damn it. It wasn't given to us. Yeah. So whenever I look at these posts on news websites, on Facebook. And then I always make the mistake of looking at the comment section because the word of the year is sheep.
Oh yeah.
That's everyone's favorite word now. It's the new Karen is the word sheep. People throwing around the word sheep like it's a derogatory term, like trying to bring people down because this vaccine is very clearly bringing down numbers, the COVID numbers. It's allowing states to reopen if they haven't already reopened. It's allowing us to be able to attend sporting events again, to be able to go to restaurants and support local businesses. And yet the people who are anti-vax, who don't believe in the vaccine because it was given an emergency use authorization, and they start referring to people as sheeple or sheep. And this is what I say to that. If you are someone who in all sincerity is calling someone a sheep because of their decision, because of their choice to get the vaccine, then if you are one of those people, then you absolutely deserve to get COVID. You are just as bad. I am serious. You are just as bad as people like Ted Nugent, who were naysayers, who went out and referred to it as the China virus, and then tried to downplay it and didn't believe in it. And then they fucking got it. Ted Nugent got it recently, and now all of a sudden he's trying to act like he never downplayed it, that he never denied that COVID was a thing. People who call others sheep, sheeple, who try to bring people down because of their choice to get a vaccination. Oh God, do I hope you get COVID so you can see firsthand just how bad it is. And that's speaking from someone who had it. And I can tell you it fucking sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just weirdly arbitrary because it's like, hey, you know what else everyone thinks you're supposed to do? Eat food. Oh, you're just going to eat like a sheep? Yeah, be a free thinker. Try abstinence. Abstaining from food forever, and then you'll really be enlightened until you die of starvation in a week.
Hardcore masticating.
Yeah, it's just so like some things that everyone does that the government recommends and that the majority of normal people just do without questioning it. It's because it's a good fucking idea.
Right.
It's just that simple.
Yeah. Well, my whole tirade just there was like pretty much not anyone in particular, but directed at about 5 people because the percentage of people who are actually the naysayers is pretty small, all things considered.
Yeah, but it's enough to screw things over for everyone. It's now estimated that the United States is not likely to reach the herd immunity numbers because there's just enough. You need like 70% of the population to get the vaccine, and we're like just barely going to miss that. Right. Yeah. Grandpa and Joe. It's not due to not having enough. It's just we have enough, and just too many people just aren't taking it.
Yeah. Grandpa Joe, according to CNN.com, setting a goal of administering at least one COVID-19 vaccine shot to 70% of the U.S. population by July 4th, because he hit his first goal really quickly. That was 100 million people. He hit his second goal, 200 million people. Another goal, not for going in any sort of numerical order here, but was to make sure all adults could be eligible to receive the vaccination by the 1st of May. That happened well before May 1st. But now this goal seems like it's going to be the stretch goal. That's going to be the one that we might not meet because, it is, like I said, it's a small enough percentage of people who are the naysayers. It's like a virus. Those are the ones who are going to start spreading the misinformation. I mean, do you think that risk of a high level of misinformation would have been an issue 10, 15 years ago before social media became what it is today?
It's a really interesting question. Yeah. Yeah. In a lot of ways, it feels like the internet has, for all the good it's done our society, it's also done an incalculable amount of damage. Right. To our safety and our fabric as a society.
Well, think of the movie Contagion. Like, people keep citing and thinking of the movie Contagion, where this exact thing happened. Virus breaks out. There's no cure for it. The world comes to a standstill. And then the film ends with a vaccine being developed. And all of a sudden people are going out and getting it. But that movie came out in 2008, I think, 2009. So less of a risk of, the fake newsers, the anti-vaxxers spreading their word, where people just hear on the news, vaccine is out, will cure you and reduce the chance of you catching this virus. Yeah. And people say, okay, cool, sounds good, I'll get it.
Yeah, and again, it's hard to overstate exactly how much damage Donald Trump did by having this cult of personality of 60 million Americans who absolutely revere every word out of his blubbering mouth.
Yeah.
Spending his entire presidency downplaying it. That did so much damage, and it really didn't need to be that way. If he had taken it seriously, first of all, he probably would have won re-election.
Yeah.
Right. His supporters wouldn't have turned on him for it. They loved him way more than they loved being anti-vax. So it was just totally needless, and the amount of deaths he has caused are just through the roof.
Nothing. I'd be a bit facetious when I say this, but nothing made me chortle harder in recent memory than Trump speaking to like an audience of 20 in a dinner hall at Mar-a-Lago, where he once again tried to take credit for creating the COVID-19 vaccine and wanted to call it Trump scene.
Yeah, I saw that. It's fantastic. It's hard to put it to make it clear enough because it seems so obvious, but like,
don't worry, I can do it for you.
We've got one political party where when they took over the White House, we went from being utterly ravaged by a disease and the economy in shambles to within months curing it and reopening everything. And then we've got the other party that's angrily reading Dr. Seuss at us, whining about fucking bamboo. You've got their figurehead who's standing like a goddamn, I don't know, like he's like a rigged up marionette in front of 20 people next to the buffet line, rambling on about fucking Joe Biden and whatever. Like, it's just such a incomparable. It's really just like the A team versus the Z team. Like, they're not even the F team. They're just like, it blows my mind how little they're even trying to be competitive.
They had to invent letters after Z.
Don't be rude. Exactly.
Yeah. Don't forget about the Republican senator from Ohio who, during a Zoom meeting, we're talking about driving while distracted, participated in the Zoom meeting while driving with his seatbelt in clear view, despite him trying to have a virtual background going.
My God.
We don't have time to talk about that, but shit, was that fucking funny? That's right now. I that's on the front page of Reddit as we speak on at least for me 2 different subreddits. So,
it's like performance art. It's like he's trying to make a statement, ironically.
To wrap up really quickly for something completely different, changing gears here from consequence.net. A literal shit show took place at Kid Rock's Nashville bar thanks to a man welding a colostomy bag. A man was arrested for welding a colostomy bag at Kid Rock's Nashville bar over the weekend, and the details are quite messy. Police were called to Kid Rock's Honky Tonk Rock and Roll Steakhouse on Saturday evening following reports of an unruly man at the establishment. According to the local NBC affiliate, News 4 Nashville, police report that Nicholas Newhart was inebriated and blocking the tavern's outside emergency exit while refusing security's demands to leave. When cops showed up, he apparently proceeded to take out his colostomy bag from his pants and began swinging it around. Disgustingly, at least 2 officers were hit with feces.
Well, if I honestly, if that's the compromise so that we have less mass shootings, is that we have more mass colostomy baggings, I'd take it.
Yeah.
I would accept that compromise.
Yeah, I think you have a better chance of recovering from having human shit thrown at you. Even if you develop some sort of infection, guess what will fix that? A vaccine.
Nice try, Bill Gates.
Ladies, he's single. Oh man, missed opportunity here. The article later on in the article, it says a local Facebook group called Scoop Nashville was among the first outlets to pick up on the story. Should have changed their name to Poop Nashville.
Or just they scooped it up. They picked up the poo.
Missed opportunities, man. All right. On that brown note, I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the episode, but I didn't. This is not the 500th episode. The next episode of this podcast will be the 500th one that we've done.
So is this 499, or do we have like a different numbering system for Acc and Jack?
No, the Acc and Jack episodes I consider as part of the main thing, so they do count towards the episode numbers, but you'll notice on the prep sheet, like it straight up says episode not 500. It'll probably be like 499 and a half or something like that.
We're going Kingdom Hearts numbers here.
We are, yes. Birth by Sleep 0.2 plus 2.8 final chapter prologue HD Dream Drop Distance. But yeah, and the reason for the delay is because I will be getting my second COVID shot on the day we were going to do the 500th episode, and
womp womp.
I have been told that the second shot kicks everybody's ass. So
I've heard the same, yeah.
So I'm ready. I've got my Advil. I've got my several bottles of Gatorade. I'm going to try to prep as best as I can, and we'll see what happens. But probably not the best idea to try to run the podcast while recovering,
or very good idea. The Jack's Delirium podcast special.
Look, I've done that twice in the 500 episodes we've done this show. There have been 2 of them where I was coming out of anesthesia, and there's audio of it. And Nate, of all people, Nate Fillers brings up to me the other day something about the episode of Talk Radio Meltdown from 2009 when we first started, that we recorded right after I had my wisdom teeth out, and I sent him the voicemail that I left the show's phone line at the time, back when we had a phone number in an inbox, where I was coming out of my stupor and revealed to my mother that I, at the time, enjoyed the ganja. And then
I think I do remember this.
Well, I at one point I asked how many days it had been, and she's like, "It's been 45 minutes." So that's just one of many memorable moments in the 500 episodes of this podcast's existence. So, and to bookend it and bring it full circle, Act, the last time, not the last time, but when we did episode 399 a couple of years ago, that was an Acc and Jack episode.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I
remember sharing the link and someone saying, you didn't get to be number 400.
That was intentional, man. I wanted the last one before a significant milestone. The episode's literally called Old Times, and it was you, me, and Zach.
Yep, I remember that very well.
So, but I mean, you're invited to the 500th episode whenever we do it. So,
all right, I'll make sure I'm vaccinated.
Yeah, well, hey, in all seriousness, Mike and Nate will, at the very least, be, I think, partially vaccinated. I know me and Nate will be fully. I think Mike will at least have his first one at that point. So you never know. We might be able to do these in person again.
Wow. Yeah. So my second vaccine is next week, and then it's supposed to be 3 weeks until you're fully vaccinated after that.
I think it's 2 weeks.
So,
yeah,
2 weeks.
Yeah, it does. It's not. Well, Is it 2 weeks after the booster, or is it 2 weeks after the first shot?
I don't know. I thought it was after the second,
Okay.
but I don't know.
I thought the second was just sort of like the booster bolsters, puts in cement that you now have 5G and microchips. So
must buy Microsoft products.
Well, Acc, thank you for being here.
Happy to be here.
Appreciate it. For the rest of you, we will talk at you next time during the official 500th episode of our podcast. See you. Bye.
From FSN, I'm Steve Moore.